Hi, this is Puspanjali, Bhatta, Director of Project Management here at Scout. I oversee our project management team and also provide operational support for our largest CRO accounts governance.
And I am Jackie Stelmach. I am on the patient liaison side of things. I am our senior regional manager, and I primarily look over the US, Latin America, and APAC side of things.
Thank you. So I want to start by saying that every protocol that gets in the door, we start with protocol review. And Jackie, I know patient liaison team is so appreciative of that with the project management team, how we have different departments allocated to, take on their designated task. And with the project management team coming there for every protocol that gets in the door, every project that gets in the door, we start with the protocol review, combing through the visit schedule, the need of the patient and the sites to make sure that we scope our services correctly to provide the exact services needed for our patients. And it can be a very simple protocol where we just have a very few visits, and it could be a very complex protocol where we have a ton of hidden, procedures, long hour assessments like PKs or surgeries or biopsy treatments that they have to go through. And, we look at the length of the visit itself, the dosing schedule to see, if some patients are staying in clinic for long hours. Or there could be very simple visit schedule where they come in and they go. Regardless, they still have to get to the clinic, right? So for us at Scout, the beauty and the key differentiator is that we do the in-depth protocol review to really identify the needs of the patients, and we scope our services accordingly, and we make sure that even the simplest logistics are managed very well.
And I will say that because not every trial is complex, but the patient themselves, they need the support, and it's always important. And that's really where the patient liaison side comes in, because what we are focused on is the human side of it all and making sure that they're feeling as if we're taking all the burden away, even if it is more simple than complex. Because what we're doing in the lab is to take that burden away from them and ensure that their payments are going through, ensuring that their transport to their clinic is all set up and fine, but we're the reason to make them feel less burden at the end of the day.
Exactly. And then with the clients, when the protocols are presented to us, when we comb through the needs of the services, of the protocol itself, we try to identify if there are any barriers up front. We take the proactive approach to identify, okay, even if this is a very simple protocol, our patients still have to get to the clinic for the first visit. Have we positioned ourselves well for the pre-screening visits? There really is some nuances that, we are able to assist because we have these experts sitting on our tables and really providing the in-depth experience-based recommendations to our clients. So, Jackie, how many times we have had our clients come back and ask for pre-screening visit support where we don't want to say that, oh, we'll have to reimburse the patients later. We want to be able to provide the pre-consents upfront so that we're taking care of the patients, at the outset, where they're not worried from their, day one. And then for that, it enables us to really be part of the patient participation, patient retention, and then, the enrollment, the key piece there, we're able to help with that as well.
And while the project management team is making sure everything is set up for the study operationally, the patient liaison side is making sure that we're matching that patient's experience, no matter how complex or simple the study is, but ensuring that everything is going smooth.
And I think it's worth noting that, with Scout, the beauty of really bringing everyone together, bringing the sites, bringing the patients, and then the clients and sponsors, all of them together. We try to simplify the visits, the services, the logistics for our patients. So at the outset, we start with the consent, of course, making sure we position well to provide the services in timely fashion. And then we provide these set of patient-facing documents and site-facing documents that are so clear to our patients and sites that they know exactly what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing, they know exactly what they are receiving in terms of the services, and there's really clear expectations from all parties involved. That helps us position ourselves very smoothly, and there really less logistical friction, because any simplest logistical friction can really pose retention risk. So we're very careful on that aspect, where our project managers are really paying attention to all the details in the patient-facing documents and site-facing documents to make sure that we're positioned well at the outset.
I think communication is a big thing as well, and ensuring that we're readily available, whether it's by a phone call or by email, to be able to support and answer those questions in real time. I think that's something that we pride ourselves in knowing that we're able to support not only the patient, but our sites as well, and able to answer any questions while they're looking over their documents. They might spark a question or like, hold on, let me get a bit more clarity. And that's where our team comes in real time to support and answer those questions.
Yeah, and we love our patient liaison team so much. Our project managers are so, good friends with our patient liaison team, that anything that comes our way, we immediately get on a call with our patient liaison team to make sure that we are managing, the client aspect of the expectations there. We're really gathering all the information from our patient liaison team. Our patient liaison team are very well connected with our vendors that have boots on the ground. Just take example of the current war, we have very challenging visits that, we want to support. So, we are managing the expectations by informing the clients XYZ countries. We were being proactive, keeping our eyes on all the flights and delays and, the connections. And then with our patient liaison team, and they are now connecting with the vendors on the ground, making sure what's feasible and what's not. So that's the beauty of how we're so well interconnected, and we're ready to tackle anything that comes our way, either simple or complex. And even in simple trials, our trials, when you're in a trial because you want something more than standard of care, right? So they're already emotionally drained, and in our trials can be so emotionally demanding that our patients, any time spent on all of these logistics, it's really the time taken away from the patient care. So we want to be there to help our patients, even in the simplest or the complex trials, to really make sure we can lift that burden off their shoulders and make it easier for them. When it's a simple protocol, I think what we're looking for is really a simple process, a simple protocol, looking for a simple process where it's very accurate, compensation that we're able to provide based on what's approved by ECs and IRB. And we're looking for fast and quick reimbursement that we can make through all the different methods of payment that we have, and a clear communication with very less site involvement. So it's something that they're looking for, with a very simple process that they can put without involving site much, and making it quick and easy while remaining within the boundaries of clinical research. So for that, we mentioned that we provide our upfront consent process that outlines simple services that the patient's going to receive, and then we provide simple set of patient-facing or site-facing documents, quick and easy for them to understand what they're going to receive. And once it's all approved, then boom, 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 we just go ahead and make those payments or provide those travel services to our patients as expected.
It's very true. And then I will say that I think on a bigger scale of where we pride ourselves, not only as Scout, but within the operational side and supporting these clinical trials and our patients, is we have the global aspect of our team. And not only can we support trials that are going on around the world, we can support the local language need as well, and speak to our patients and our sites in their local language, which it's not something that you see many others offer on a day-to-day basis. And we have that ability to offer that in real time.
Yeah, and I love that you brought the global aspect, Jackie, because how many times sponsors tell us that they love us because we've cracked France? So as much as there's so much complexity that we're managing behind the scene, really to our sponsors and clients, it seems very easy. It seems very, in theory, it's very simple, but there's a lot of complex coordination that goes behind the scene. We're tackling so many variations of the services in France. We may be getting reimbursement in the portal. We may be getting reimbursements in the paper form because our French sites, they still love using our French manual reimbursement process. Or we have taxi vendors now, right? How we have evolved in the past few years, because we want to be flexible. And for a client, for a project, if you look at the visit schedule, it could be, okay, 5 cycles and that's it, maybe a couple of follow visits and 1 unscheduled visit. But in reality, we're managing all the complexities behind the scene where we're taking care of the FMR forms, we're taking care of taxi vendors, invoices that come in timely fashion or not. and the beauty of our portal, again, I mentioned portal, I have to say that in the world of technology now, where we're seen as, everything being taken over by AI, we want to be adapting to the needs of the sites. We're evolving constantly. So we have this beautiful portal where we run everything, either the patient travel request or reimbursements through the portal that's compliant. We make sure that it's internationally compliant, the global regulations, we're compliant where we run anything for France. We're very careful that we're compliant to MR001 and making sure that everything's run smoothly. I think we have all the capabilities, I think there's certain assumptions or misconception that, we can only provide XYZ services in certain countries. A good communication with the client to explain these are our experiences based on these studies that we've done, that helps alleviate the concerns. So really, I think for us to showcase, if we have a chance to showcase our capabilities and then speak to our services based on our experiences, that helps ease a lot of concerns, whether there are any questions or concerns about our services.
And even in the more straightforward studies, what I'll say for the domestic, where it's just within, the regional area or basic reimbursements, our role doesn't go away, because what seems simple operationally doesn't always feel simple to a patient. They still have questions, they still need reassurance, they still need someone to help navigate the process. And honestly, that's where we come in, because we are able to support them. And I keep saying real time, but I think that's the most important thing, is almost that instant gratification of having someone on the other end who can guide you and sympathize with you and understand what your needs are, and then get you the support along the way.
Exactly that, Jackie. And talking about site, and the site bandwidth is a real problem, right? We've seen, there's really not enough time in clinic for them to take care of all the travel and payment logistics. So when we come to the play, we really remove that burden from the sites. We make sure that they are dedicated in the quality patient care and also providing quality data for the trial success. So we want to alleviate all of that from their soldiers.
And I think that's where we see the biggest impact, is removing those small points of friction. Before they turn into anything bigger, we're the ones that recognize that on our side before they even see that. And we do our best to investigate and work with each other to remove that before it even gets to the site or the patient side of things. I think the core thing for our team, and something that stands out the most, is having the ability to have someone around the clock that can answer a phone call or answer an email, or ensure that the travel needs are met, in real time, and be able to have that support when you have that simple question in your mind, but you're not sure what the end goal is going to be or the result is. Our team is there to be able to answer that for you and move you along.
Yeah. And now talking about, some of these complex situations we've seen, Jackie, we've offered some unique services to our patients, like the advance payments, right? I think when we realize, okay, the patient's actually already there, and didn't expect that they were supposed to be there today, let's get something out the door right away. So you mentioned, real time, and it could be really for the complex protocol, or it could be for something simple that they just happen to be in the clinic right away, or they just happen to, travel earlier. Something we have to accommodate. So to your point, that real-time assistance is what, we really loved for by our sites and patients, because they can call us. We have our local presence. We have our patient liaison, army of patient liaisons sitting there to just pick up the phone, and or project managers for navigating any complex situations, to provide any immediate solutions. We'll be thinking outside of the box sometimes to really provide unique services. Let's just send them a V card. Let's make this happen.
I mean, we've even had situations where for domestic travel in Brazil, where they get to the hotel, they check in, they're not able to provide their own meals, while they're on site. So our team works in, with the site and with our payment system, and like Puspanjali is saying, with the virtual cards, and ensuring that while they're there, they have meals to be able to have. Because I think at the end of the day, we all have the same goal, and we just want their experience to be smooth, clear, that they feel supported, and we're able to conquer that goal for them at the end of the day, to take that stress away.
Yeah. And then there's industry data, right, Jackie, that shows, more than about 64% of our cancer clinical trial patients, they incur unexpected non-medical expenses, non-medical expenses that are related to, maybe travel, like you said, meal reimbursement, right? I mean, in Brazil, for example, providing the vouchers is what they call, but that's so critical for patient enrollment and patient retention. If from client's perspective, it could be, oh, it's just $20 meal voucher, right? But that's so necessary in order for these patients to make sure that they can get to the clinic and make sure they can be there for the day, for the patient participation and enrollment and retention. These small details, even on the simplest protocol, play such a big role. And I think there's also data that shows that more than 20% of these patients, the cancer clinical trial patients, they can incur up to almost $1,500 of these expenses out of the pocket. So how can they bear those burdens when if it's not financially feasible, the participation is just very challenging. So if we are in the picture, we're able to take care of that ahead of time. There will be no out-of-pocket expenses that they have to bear. We provide advance payments if needed. We provide on-site robust pass cards. Now we have these beautiful cards. They can just be at the site's desk, and stack where they can use them. So anything that they need, either simple protocol or complex protocol, anything that they need, they just have to tell us what they need, and we make it happen.
I think the biggest thing is we're not just there for the complicated moments, we're there for the entire journey, and to make it easier on the patient and our sites at the end of the day.